Okay, so welcome back to episode 68 of the Fortnite Mythbusters. 68 episodes already? Jeez. In today's episode, a lot of you guys have been requesting a whole ton of myths revolving around this weird shield bubble grenade thing. I don't even know. What are these items they're adding to the game? What the heck? But anyways, a lot of you guys submitted some really awesome myths. But just like always, if you guys do have a myth you would like me to test in the next or future episodes, make sure to go down in the comment section down below and drop a comment of a unique myth for a pretty good chance to be featured. Today, I feel like setting a very unrealistic like goal, so let's see if we can aim for 50,000 likes. If we can hit 50k, I don't even know, maybe I'll give away some V-Bucks or something. I haven't done a giveaway in forever. Also guys, at 500,000 subscribers, I will be doing a face reveal, so if you do enjoy my content and you do want to see more by me, feel free to subscribe and also turn on those post notifications to never miss another Fortnite Mythbusters episode. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right on into today's episode. Jumping straight into the first myth is, can you die to a trap while inside of a shield bubble? Now the shield bubble in game, it's pretty overpowered. I mean, you throw this down and someone could be literally shooting a ton of rockets from a mech straight at you, and the bubble, it will literally protect you from every single shot. In game, when I tried this out, I basically went into creative mode. I had some shield bubbles as well as some spike traps, a poison dart trap, and even the ice trap, which puts ice on your feet, and every single trap, while you're even inside of the bubble, they will still affect you, and they will do damage to you and eventually kill you if you do get hit by the spike trap or the poison dart does end up running out. So unfortunately, just because you're inside of the shield bubble, it does not mean you are protected from literally everything in the game. Going into the next myth is, can you throw a chug splash through the shield bubble and heal? So the shield bubble is interesting for this myth specifically because you can shoot a rocket, you can shoot bullets at the wall, and nothing will be able to go through. So will the chug splashes be thrown through, or will it act as if it's a wall and you can't heal past it like we saw in a previous episode? In game, when testing this out, I basically got on my second account, did a lot of damage to my main account, threw down the shield bubble, and I literally just threw the chug splashes at the wall, and it was as if it wasn't really even there at all. I mean, it was still able to heal you. The chug splashes still made impact with the wall immediately, but the same splash radius, the same splash, I guess, healing radius will heal you basically no matter what. The shield bubble in this case could be used for better or worse, and I guess it doesn't really make a difference either way. You could still throw the chug splashes at the shield bubble and you could still heal, just it will hit the wall way sooner. Going into the next myth is, can you use a prop gun to become a falling item from a junk rift? So the junk rift, it's a pretty fun thing to use in game. I mean, it sucks when you die to it because it's a little overpowered if you're right beneath it, but in game, when I tested this out, I basically threw a junk rift and I tried my hardest to kind of track whatever object is falling down with the prop gun, and I could have sworn, I mean, I was spam clicking, and every single time when it was falling, it acted as if it wasn't even a prop falling until it hit the ground. It was stable in the ground, and then it showed the outline of like the dinosaur or even the cop car, which allowed me to transform into that specific prop. Unfortunately, you are unable to become a prop from the junk rift while items are falling. I really don't know why this would be useful in game either way, but I guess it's good to know. Maybe if you're playing like a special prop hunt map or a special game mode or something, and there happens to be junk rifts and you might want to change into a prop. I don't know. Moving straight into the next myth is, what happens if you throw a junk rift in or even at a shield bubble? Now, if you've been lucky enough to not really experience the junk rift in game, if you're literally directly hit by the object that is falling from the junk rift, you will die almost on impact. I mean, it's really hard to survive those unless you literally get out of there before the object really falls on you. With how strong the shield bubble is, will it protect you from a junk rift? And when I actually tested this out in game, I first tested to see when you throw a junk rift while you're inside of the shield bubble, and the rift surprisingly spawns literally above the bubble. It doesn't spawn inside of it, so you're basically protected 100% of the time when you really have a shield bubble and a junk rift is on you. The exact same thing also occurs when you throw a junk rift on the outside of the bubble as well. Something that I personally thought was really interesting and will make me carry a lot more shield bubbles around is, say a junk rift is thrown on you and the object is mid falling. If you throw a shield bubble down, no matter what, if the object's about to hit you in the ground, the shield bubble will destroy it immediately, which will probably save your life. Going into the next myth is, will the junk rift kill you while you're inside of a cannon? Unfortunately, the cannons aren't really in the game anymore, but we've tested a whole ton of myths regarding the cannon, and surprisingly, it will protect you from a whole ton of stuff when you are literally sitting in the barrel of the cannon. I mean, it will protect you from literally almost anything. In-game, when I tested this myth out, I basically threw a junk rift into creative mode to see that, of course, it will do damage to me and it will kill me on impact, so it's not like the damage was off. I then jumped in the barrel of the cannon last second, and surprisingly, the anchor still did damage to me, and it basically killed me on impact. I then attempted this myth one more time just to make sure that it will kill you on impact even when looking up, and the outcome is the exact same. The cannon, it will protect you from a junk rift, unfortunately, but I guess that's something good to know, because there possibly could be a chance they do add cannons back into the game. Going into the next myth is, can you destroy a vending machine with a junk rift? Now, I know there's been glitches in the past where you could somehow destroy the junk rift with like a brute, as well as like ATKs and all of that crazy stuff, so I attempted to do this glitch in the creative game mode, where you basically just go back to spawn, and of course I spawned myself in an unrealistic amount of junk rifts, and I basically went to town. I mean, I spammed the vending machines with a whole ton of junk rifts, and every single time it seemed like it never did any damage, unfortunately. What I guess is good to know about this though is if you do throw a junk rift on one of these vending machines or whatever, you still are able to farm whatever prop falls from the sky. To be honest, I didn't really expect much from this myth. I mean, vending machines, they're not really supposed to be destroyed. I mean, it would be interesting if you could somehow destroy it, maybe sabotage it for another player who does come up to it, but unfortunately, you aren't really able to destroy them with no matter how many junk rifts you do throw at it. Going into the next myth is, what happens when you throw a shield bubble onto a hoverboard and then ride around? Now, I'm sure a whole ton of you guys do know the outcome to this myth, but I decided to test it for those who were wondering, because of course this comment did get literally like 500-600 likes on the previous episode. In game, when you basically throw a shield bubble literally on top of the hoverboard, you basically can move the shield bubble around with you, which makes you practically invincible. I mean, this is extremely overpowered in late games and scrims. It will honestly probably be used in the World Cup as a pretty good strategy, because I mean, just look how overpowered this is. Imagine being in an endgame, 60-70 players, and you have a shield bubble on your hoverboard, and you could just rotate without taking literally any damage at all. I highly doubt not a lot of people would have known about this technique if it wasn't for Myth. I mean, he was live streaming Fortnite the first day that the shield bubble was released, and he literally threw it on his hoverboard while fighting a mech, and literally destroyed it. I mean, he was able to rotate to the mech, take literally no damage by the rockets because the shield bubble, and he destroyed it. I mean, it was a good fight overall. I'm definitely curious to see when the World Cup comes, if the shield bubble is still in the game, because this will definitely be used as a pretty strategic way to rotate late game. Going into the next myth is, can the shield bubble attach to an RPG rocket? Now, this is actually a really extremely good myth, because the shield bubble, it could attach to a hoverboard, and you literally could kind of move the shield bubble around with you no matter where you go. So since the RPG has a hitbox, which basically allows you to rocket ride the RPG, can the shield bubble attach to the RPG and basically fly around in the sky? Now, I attempted this myth for a very long time to make sure I do get the correct answer, but at first I was testing this in creative mode to see maybe if I could bounce a rocket off Kevin the Cube, since we did learn in the previous episode rockets do bounce off Kevin the Cube, and every single time I attempted that, I could have sworn that the shield bubble went through at least one of the rockets, but I then found out that the rockets, they were somehow phasing straight through me. I mean, the rockets would not make any impact on my player. I then attempted to do this myth with my friend, with him shooting the rockets at me, which allowed the hitbox of the rocket to obviously make contact with my player, and the outcome, it was pretty surprising. Even though rockets do have their own hitbox, the shield bubble is unfortunately not able to connect to it, and we cannot have a magic shield bubble literally flying around the sky like we were hoping. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe if you are new to the channel. If you do have a myth you would like me to test in the next or future Mythbuster episodes, make sure to go down in the comment section down below and drop a comment of that myth for a pretty good chance to be featured. Also, guys, I'm really active on my socials, so if you guys want to have a chance to talk to me one-on-one on my Instagram or even Twitter, make sure to go over to those, drop a follow, and shoot me a DM, and I'll try my best to respond. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys next time.